What's going on, everyone? It's Corey here from the Breakevens, giving you my round 7 team review. Before we get started, I want to apologise for not having my round 6 review out last week. Because it was a later round, I didn't actually have the spare time to unfortunately get that out for you, so I do apologise for that, but we're back again for round 7. Before we get into how I went, don't forget you can hit us up on our socials, so you can find us on Twitter at BreakevensPod. Try and hit 500 followers over there, so make sure you give us a follow. And on YouTube, we're on the road to 200 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button and you can keep up to date with all of our content, including these team reviews. So before we get into that, round 7 was insane. The carnage has continued. All the rookies are gone. And what a very hard and challenging Supercoach season we've had so far. It looks like people have had to burn through trades and boosts. So, but we'll get into that anyway, going through my thoughts and everything. So let's get into how my team went this week. Alright, so this is how my team went. As you can see, I scored 2,304, which I thought was pretty decent. Top score was around 2,600, so I was a little bit behind there, which is unfortunate. But I jumped up 152 ranks, which is great, and now ranked 4,354. So what you can see is last round 6, I jumped into the top 5k. Last time you saw me, I was just outside that top 10k. I had a big jump by about 5,000 ranks, and I got another green arrow this week, which I'm happy with. Obviously trying to get top 1k if possible. That might be a bit hard, but as long as I keep getting those green arrows, I'll be pretty happy. I just want to quickly recap my trades from round 6 and from last week. So my round 6 trades was Cam McKenzie out for Matt Roberts, who obviously got injured, which was unfortunate, and I went Ruben Jinby up to Jordan Dawson, so that was a good one for me. Even though he scored a 72 that week, which wasn't great. But last week I used my 4th boost, so I've only got one left, and I went Alwyn Davey Jr., Darcy Wilmot and Oscar Baker out for Seamus Mitchell, Sam Sturt and Will Day, which I was pretty happy with those for the most part. But we'll get into the scores, how they went individually, and what my thought process was. Alright, so this is how my team was set up, and I could probably see what you're thinking, and that is, what the hell is that forward line? I will explain everything that happened. So there was obviously doubt around Rory Ledden if he was going to play. And unfortunately, as you can see there, I've got Ashcroft on the bench. He was actually on field, and that was where Matt Roberts was. So I had a decision to make. My decision was, if Led is going to be out, I can either keep him on field, and if he doesn't play, cop a donut, or I can move things around, get Ashcroft onto the bench, and I actually had Will Day in the midfield, so Will Ashcroft wouldn't have got on the field. So I decided to put Will Day into the midfield, which means Seamus Mitchell was on field in that defence. Now Will Ashcroft came out and scored 103, so I was like, I need those points, what can I do? So I was able to switch Will Day for Charlie Constable, switch Day onto the field, Mitchell onto the bench, which worked out nicely. Constable on field, which means I've got that Ashcroft 103. But by doing that and by overthinking the selection, that means I had to field both Fergus Green and Sam Sturt because Goulden was actually in the forward line, and Will Day was in the midfield. So Sturt probably would have been on my bench, which probably would have helped me, but then Mitchell would have had to have been on field. So, really, if you're looking at it, I've missed out on 16 points. Not great, but let's go through my players quickly. So Dawson 150, great, perfect, love it. Nick Dacos 72, didn't have a bad game, just wasn't good with his disposal, which is very rare. Tom Stewart 123, perfect. Will Day 97, I'll take that. Hoping for a little bit more. Zeeble 100, he's looking like a keeper even with Hall back. And Connor McKenna with that 70 has resparked his cash gen, which I'm happy about. Cowan didn't play, and Seamus Mitchell 41 was subbed out. In my midfield, Bond 122, pretty happy with that. Oliver as my captain 134, happy. Laird 100, even on one leg, I'll take that. Dunkley 109. Goulden 119, Hopper 71, a bit unders. Setterfield 51, absolutely disgraceful. Obviously, Constable didn't play. Ashcroft 103, revamped his cash gen, perfect. Ralston, the sub 16. Chesser is back in a few weeks. Had the VC on English, which didn't quite work out, but that's okay. Rowan Marshall went big with 159, and I don't need to speak about Nicholas Madden. Taranto 140, number one forward at the moment, absolutely killing it. I'm glad I decided to go with him at the start. Connor Rosie 96. I think he was a bit hard done by a few frees that went against him that were pretty soft, and a few that weren't paid for him, so he was a bit unlucky there. Harry Sheasel 107, perfect. He's looking like a keeper still, but he might burn out at some stage. Kate Chandler 104, cash gen, thank you very much, very happy. And Green was I don't think he was subbed, or he might have been subbed on 28, but Sam Sturt was definitely subbed on 25. And Samson Ryan with a 71, I'm pretty happy with that. Soldo back, he was still able to score decently. And Matt Roberts obviously is injured and didn't play. So overall, I missed out on some points with the whole Laird debacle. I did have the captain on Dawson most of the week, but decided to go Oliver against North. So missed out on 16, so that's 32 points there. So pretty happy. As I said before, I moved up the ranks, so that's all that matters. So let's go into my trades and what I'm thinking for this week. Alright, so as you can see, 2 trades this week. Will Setterfield and Fergus Green are out. I had to make a few adjustments. So Errol Goulden has gone to the forward line, just here. Will Day has come into the midfield. So what I'm going to do is select my midfielder first. And this guy went huge last week, but I've been looking at him for the last couple of weeks, and that's Christian Petrarca. So my thoughts on Petrarca is they have a really easy run. I actually have some notes here from the podcast that we're about to record. So Petrarca, his next 5 games are against the Suns, Hawks, Port, Freo and Blues. So there's plenty of chance there to go big. He's got a break even of 71 as well. So I'm getting him at a cheaper price. Not probably his cheapest cheapest, but still cheap enough where there's value. And there's a potential it could get DPP. So the way I look at it is I'm either selecting a top 10 midfielder with this selection, or I'm selecting the top 2 to 3 forward that can be moved in possibly. So that's what I'm looking at doing. I also looked at Zaki Merritt, but I think I can wait another week for him. Just because his break even's about 110 or so. And also looking at Jack Steele, I am worried about that shoulder. He came back super quick from a clean break, so just waiting to see how it pulls up this week. If it pulls up okay, he could be another value selection for me next week. Especially I'm looking to unload probably Hopper next week. Yeah, because everybody else, apart from injuries, is looking pretty good. So, who's my defender going to be? I think it's pretty obvious the number one rookie for this week. If this clears, there we go. That is Chin Cotter from the Blues. 102k defender mid. Goes in there. 88 last week. I'm pretty sure got a 65 the week before, something around there. So pretty happy with those trades, pretty happy with how Chincotter's going. I will quickly complete these trades and we'll come back to see how the team will be lining up for round 8. Alright, so this is how I'm looking to go into round 8 with my team. Obviously Oliver into English there. It's going to be a tight one because the Melbourne game finishes just before the Bulldogs game starts, so it's going to be a close one. We'll have to look out for that. Only 2 selections I'm really worried about this week is Samson Ryan and Jacob Hopper. Hopper is either going to go 100 or he'll go 50, and Ryan, we're not quite sure what he's going to do, but against West Coast, hopefully he tears up. So that's my team into round 8. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget you can find us on Twitter at BreakevensPod, trying to hit 500 followers over on Twitter, and on YouTube. Search the Breakevens, you'll find us there on the road to 200 subscribers. So same as on Twitter, find that subscribe button and click it to keep up with all of our content that we post during the season, which is 2 videos a week. So you've got my review each week, and then we have our podcast. So this will go up just before the podcast, so later tonight. Look out for our podcast. It should be up around 10:30ish tonight, so make sure you click that. A lot of discussion in there in depth, so really good stuff to listen to. So thank you all again for watching and listening on YouTube. Don't forget to look out for our pod, and until next time, it's bye for now.